What's happening, everybody? It's your resident supervillain, Mr. J. Washington, back again. Sorry for the delay. Been super busy, but I am here with my official solo A Star Wars Story review. Now, before I go any further and go in depth with anything, let me let you know two things. One, there will be some spoilers. So, I like to talk about films in depth and detail. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers, I'd advise you to stop the video now, come back after you've seen it, then we can rock together. You can agree or disagree. Cool? Cool. The second thing, because this is a Star Wars film, one way or another, people will be in their feelings. You will either agree with me heavily, disagree, or you might be angry. If you are going to be in your feelings, please leave. No one has time for that. It's either you like it, you don't, whatever. But what's been on the internet is not going to service anybody. It's not going to do us any justice. So I don't know if anybody else wants to see it. I know I don't. So thank you. I appreciate you. Glad you can be here. Let's get into it. First and foremost, it's a movie. I can't say anything more besides it's a movie. It is kind of underwhelming. It is kind of underwhelming. It doesn't pay off as much as you would hope for. Now, let me go back a little bit further. This is a movie no one asked for. No one wanted a backstory into Han Solo. No one was really clamoring for it. Where if you were going to do prequel origin stories, people have wanted an Obi-Wan Kenobi to see Ewan McGregor return in the role, to do more things, to show his time after when he was wandering. We would love to see those things, but nobody was clamoring for a Star Wars story. So Alden Ehrenreich had a tough task ahead of him, from the look, the sound, the character, the demeanor of Han Solo. Would he deliver on it? Somewhat. Now, I understand those are tough shoes to fill, but he took on that role, so therefore you take on that challenge, and with anyone, whether you love it or hate it, that's still criticism. You take that on as well. Emilia Clarke, she was okay. She was alright. There were certain things she did where the twist towards the end, how it was like she was double-crossing him, then double-crossing, Dryden, who was played by Paul Bettany. Some of those things seemed too predictable. She played her role, what she's supposed to do, but there was nothing really given more what you were expecting. For her to be a love interest turned killer with with the Crimson Ring or whatever it is, you didn't get that as much. Chewie steals the show for me. This is more a movie about Chewie and his interactions with Han, as opposed, for me, this is for me now, as opposed to Han with Beckett being Woody Harrelson, who did what he was supposed to do. I felt like he was just Woody Harrelson in this movie. There was nothing major about it. There was nothing special where you're like, yo, Woody Harrelson really embraced being in the Star Wars universe. It was just Woody Harrelson is playing Woody Harrelson. Please, it happens in many films. Jamie Foxx has played Jamie Foxx in a number of films, excuse me. So it happens. Thandie Newton, though. Thandie Newton, who you see in the beginning, well, not in the direct beginning, once Han enlists in the Imperial Naval Fleet, when you see her to the part where she untimely dies, again, I told y'all this was spoilers, she is a commanding presence. I've always loved Thandie Newton in any film she has done. She has always made sure that you know she's there. You don't just slight her, if that makes sense. The story being a Western type of story in space, I just felt like the action and the story, they didn't sync up at times. Points where it's supposed to hit and grab you, it didn't, and the story would, in some parts, lag unnecessarily. Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian is dope. There's no other way to explain that. He does what needs to be done as Lando. It seems as if the advice he got personally from Billy D. Williams, who we know originally played Lando Calrissian, worked out perfectly. From the demeanor, to the acting, to the interactions, him with L3 and the love affair he has with his co-pilot, android, it was great. It was expected. Now, That is another movie people were wondering, let's get a backstory on him. This was more so a Lando Calrissian film as opposed to a Han Solo film. I think you wouldn't have had that much problem. If you read across the internet, social media, Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, subgroups and all, you'll see there are a lot of people who are either upset about this film or just like it. And there are some who are just like, it's a movie. It's a movie, so you really can't get upset. It was nice to see Ray Park back as Darth Maul. Shouts out to the homie Sam Witwer for doing the voice. Yo, shouts out to you, Sam. But it was nice to see Darth Maul being featured in the film. Warwick Davis reprises his role from The Phantom Menace. So there's little bitty things here and there. Now, one of the things I will say personally with this film, a lot of what they say in the dialogue and the story banks a lot on you having seen the first Star Wars. Or even the first and Empire, because you really need to know what is happening because they reference it like they're throwing it in your face, so you need to know this. Of course, we got the Kessel Run, so we see, when you hear, oh, it's got to be a Kessel Run, so you're going to figure out how did he do the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs. So we get all that, but it's a service per se to knowing what happens in the original trilogy. Not even Force Awakens where he untimely dies at the hand of Kylo Ren, but you need to have seen these films because they say so much, they throw so much out. Even at the very end, well, close to the end, when Tobias Beckett, played by Woody Harrelson again, says, oh, I'm going to go to Tatooine because there's supposedly a big drug smuggler who's looking to pull off a heist. He's talking about Jabba the Hutt. And then at the end of the film, you see Chewie and Han go to help in this heist, which of course we know goes right into A New Hope. I don't know what many people were expecting out of this. Now, I'm not one of those people who wanted this to fail. I am one of those people who said no one asked for this film. That does not equate me wanting this movie to do bad. I just didn't think people really wanted it. I think the box office numbers that we've seen thus far show the indifference. But I just think at the end of the day, it's a movie. And meaning it's not anything I went up there saying, oh, this is going to be a great spin-off Star Wars movie, or this is going to be a horrible Star Wars movie. I went in watching a movie and knowing my knowledge of what I've seen in the past and what's to come, I just have to go with that. So if that makes sense to you all. But nonetheless, that is my opinion, my personal perspective on Star Wars. Now, I know I said don't get all in your feelings, but let me know what you think in the comments below, all right? Like, subscribe, click on the notification bell. Check out the other videos. I've been gone for a minute, but I'm back doing this for you guys. I'm about to drop a whole lot more content so you guys can have something almost every single day coming at you. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. J Washington, MrJaywashington. Check out the Trusty Sidekick podcast with myself and Bobby Hill, getting you caught up on everything in the Marvel and DC live-action cinematic universes. With that being said, I will holler at you guys later. Take care. I'm out of here. Peace.